You've probably seen these tier lists popping up all over the place. A lot of content creators do them across a bunch of different games. And I gotta say, it's something I actually enjoy watching. Not only just them making the tier list, but going back and revisiting their old tier list to see how well they did. And I decided that I was going to avoid watching any and all tier lists for this upcoming set, Legends of the Force, and I wanted to put out my own. So I'm going to do it a little bit different as opposed to where I think these will fit into the meta. I'm going to base them off of which ones I'm actually excited to play. I don't necessarily go and play just the meta decks. I could really care less about that sort of stuff. I am competitive, but for me, it's more about trying different leaders and just enjoying the entire game experience. So that's where we're going to go with this list. Let's pop on over to our first leader. So we're going to go through the leaders and then we'll put them on the scale on where we think they belong. So Ahsoka Tano, she's a 6 cost, 5/6 vigilance heroism leader. This is her deployed side. So on attack, you may give a friendly unit sentinel for this phase. The problem is she's not all that powerful. 5/6, giving a unit sentinel for this phase, I think it's all right. It's kind of the general recon, which I think is actually a pretty good card. On her leader side, she has action use the force, give a friendly unit sentinel for this phase. I'm not super excited over this leader. She's definitely not something that I'm like, I can't wait to play this leader. So as far as, let's jump on over to the tier list. Where do I think she belongs on this? So we're basing this off of excitement to play. So I'm going to put Ahsoka probably in C tier. I mean, I definitely would try her out. If I end up with her showcase, then I will absolutely try and make her work. But as it stands right now, C, she's like borderline C, D. I'm just not totally excited about that leader. All right, next leader, Anakin Skywalker. So this is the introduction to the single aspect leaders. So he's just heroism, 5 cost, 4/6. On his deploy side, he is action, use the force, play a villainy non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. So him being just heroism, this does introduce a bunch of pretty powerful cards that you can use. You're limited on having to use the force. I actually kind of enjoy this leader. I have tested him a bit. On his leader side, it's basically the same thing. Use the force, play a villainy non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. So it really comes down to, can you get a deck together that allows you to have the force quite often? So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I know the cards have been all spoiled for quite some time now. A couple weeks at this point. I'm late to the game even making this video, but this is more for, I want to be able to look back whenever set 6 is coming out. So him deploying on 5 is awesome. His stats of 4/6, perfect. I think he's probably a blast. Like, from my testing, I've had fun. It's just like there's been a few times where I wish I had the force and I didn't have the force and I didn't have a way to make the force. So as far as where would he belong on the fun list here, I think I would put him, I think he's an A. It's definitely a leader I want to do a bunch more testing with, and there's possibly something there. The only thing about like the whole force and everything, if this does not get more support in sets going forward, it will just disappear. You know, stuff like jump to light speed is probably my favorite set. Spark of Rebellion obviously will always be the GOAT, but I think so set 1, set 2, and set 4 are all really incredible sets. Smuggle, we need Smuggle back, like ASAP. Next leader is Avar Chris. So I'm actually excited about this leader. This is one where, so on her deploy side, she's a 9 cost, 4/10 command heroism. While the force is with you, this unit gets +4/+0 and gains overwhelm. So that's like this is your finishing bomb. Especially if you can like put something else on the board or a couple something else on the board, just so that she's protected from power of the dark side, Merciless Contest, Avengers, and stuff like that. So on her leader side, action, the force is with you. Create the force token, or create your force token. This is what makes her super interesting, is that she can just have the force every turn. So it's guaranteed force. Maybe her and Anakin would make good Twin Sons decks, maybe. Just being able to have the force and then playing a whole bunch of different villainy, control-y type cards. So her epic action's a little different too. Like if the number of resources you control plus the number of times you use the force this phase is 9 or more, deploy this leader. So that's something where there are combos and stuff that I've seen where you can use the force 2 or 3 times in a turn, which would then make it so that she could deploy early, which I think is kind of what you would want to do. 9 deploy is absolutely insane. So it would be nice to be able to see her come out a bit early. So on the fun list, where do we put her? I'm probably, so like as this is basically strictly on where these stack up on how badly I want to play them. So I think I'm going to put her, let's put her ahead of Anakin, but I'm not sure she goes much higher. Definitely not S. And there's an argument that both of these maybe aren't even A's. We'll just keep going and we'll kind of see where we end up. Oh, I got to switch these over. Sorry. I threw her into the A. I got to remember to switch back and forth between the screens. I knew I was going to mess that up, but I'll try and make sure I don't for the rest of this. Anyway, let's jump back over here. Let's go with the next leader. It's Barriss Offee, 6 cost, villainy, cunning, 4/7, action, use the force, play an event from your hand. It costs 1 less. Okay, I think that's relevant. 6 cost leader is not amazing. Action, use the force, play an event from your hand. It costs 1 less. So this really is dictated on how often you can create the force. Is it going to be usable? I don't know. I am not a huge fan of cunning, so we're going to go back over. We're not even going to waste time on Barriss. Let's go back over to the fun. We're just going to call it the fun meter, and I'm going to put her down here with Ahsoka. Not excited, just not excited. So here we are. We're hitting A's and C's, which is kind of interesting. Next leader, Cal Kestis. So 4 cost, 3/4, cunning, heroism, on attack. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control, exhaust that unit. I love that you don't need to use the force in order to do that. That is relevant and playable, I think. And then on his leader side, action, use the force. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control, exhaust that unit. So you got to be creating the force. He deploys on 4, which is super interesting. That's a pretty early deploy, but a 3/4 is like you can just deal with that without issue at any point in time. So will he see play? Maybe. Again, I'm not huge on the whole cunning side of things, but the fun meter, I would probably put him above Ahsoka. I might even put him in D because I just like, sorry, not D, B. I'm gonna stick him in B, but he may belong in C. maybe. I don't know. That's like a tough one because I like the 4 and 5 deploy leaders, so it could go either way there. We're gonna stick him in B. We'll leave him in B for now, but there's a caveat there that he might be pushed down lower. Darth Maul. He's a 6 deploy, 5/6 on attack, deal 1 damage to a unit and 1 damage to a different unit. So you don't need the force, he just does the damage. 6 deploy, it's all right. A 5/6 is horrible. I'd rather see him as a 4/7. He's aggression, villainy. His leader side, action use the force, deal 1 damage to a unit and 1 damage to a different unit. This here, I think, is actually kind of good. As long as you can create the force, this is something that, you know, can turn the tide more than not, maybe. I just think, like, so aggression, like, you've got so many different cards that are dealing damage, and a lot of times you're just like, I wish I could do 1 more damage, or you're spreading damage out, you know, grenade strike and stuff like that, bombing run. This here could finish off units for sure. So there might be something there. I like aggression, villainy. Bosk, one of my favorite leaders. So I think this guy is interesting. 6 cost is not exciting. You can pair him up with green, though, which is my other favorite color. So you would be able to get him out earlier. Where would I put him? That's a good question. I'd probably put him on D tier. No, sorry, B tier. B tier. Holy crap. I'm not used to sitting and talking to myself, so this is obviously something new for the channel. I've never done a tier list, but I just find them fun looking back, and you can kind of see where your thoughts were and who ended up being fun. I obviously base a lot of my play off of what showcases I open. I just absolutely love showcases, so whatever showcases I open, I absolutely play them for sure. So I am going to give him, I'm going to put him in B. He could be C. I'd probably like to test him out. I would like to test him out. So we'll put him in B for now, and we'll see where we go from there. Next one, Darth Revan, 5 cost or 5 deploy, 3/6, restore 1. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. So he works well with ambush units. That's something that he could definitely be buffing up some people. His leader side, when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. And he deploys on 5. So that, I just like this because it's not tied into needing the force. So you can play units that, you know, create the force and use the force, but my leader is not tied to that particular, what do you call that? Action. I'm drawing a blank. Like, whatever you'd call the force, like having the force, making the force, being one with the force. So I would put this guy higher up on my tier list just because I think he is interesting. I put him above Anakin and below look, I forgot again. Ava Chris. I think that's a fair assessment. I almost should put Ahsoka down to D. Like, there's just not interest there. All right, back over to here. Let's go to the next leader, Grand Inquisitor. I don't even want to talk about him. I don't want to, like, a 5 cost 3/5 shielded on attack. The defender gets -2 for this attack. I think that's relevant. Stats are awful. Stats are really bad. Leader side, use the force, attack with a friendly unit. The defender gets -2, -0 for this attack. This is Jyn Erso, and that was my first showcase I opened was Jyn, and I still do play that showcase just because I feel obligated to, but she's god awful, and she has better stats. She comes out at 6, which I think really screwed her, but where do I put this? This is an absolute easy peasy D tier. No interest. I do not want to play that leader. No interest. As you can see, there's probably more leaders that I would want to play than not. Next leader, Kanan Jarrus, 6 deploy, 3/6, vigilant, heroism. Comes out shielded, which is awesome. When you control another creature or specter unit, this unit gets +2/+2, which then makes his stats way more relevant. A 5/8, so a 5/8 I think is absolutely awesome. Is he a rare leader? Oh no, we gotta go forward here. Go forward. He is a rare leader. I'm actually excited for him. And he's got the Spectre tag, Force, Jedi, Rebel, Spectre, action, pay 1, give a shield token to a creature or a Spectre. I think that's super relevant. He's kind of like the Grand Moff Tarkin of the good guys and creatures. We spoiled a creature that's in blue. This is a leader I'm actually excited about. I think he would be, it's more of a theme deck, but those are super fun. My favorite deck from Jump to Lightspeed is Poe, and you don't see anyone playing him, and I think he's way stronger than people think, and I'm going to die on that hill. So this guy is going to be easy for me because I actually want to play him, so he is going S. The next leader is Kit Fisto. We just saw his showcase. It looks pretty good. I do wish the background was more clear in the showcase, but it is what it is. He's a 5 deploy, 1/6. Saboteur. This unit gets +1/+0 for each other friendly Jedi unit. I don't like that. He's aggression, heroism. Action, pay 1. If you attacked with a Jedi unit this phase, deal 2 damage to a unit. I actually think his leader side is better than his deploy side. I'm excited to play this leader. That's tough. I think he's tough. Where would I put him on this list? I think he's a C, but I would put him above or in front of Ahsoka. Yep, I'd put him in front of Ahsoka. I think that's the right spot for him. I'm just not super pumped. Not a leader I am going to be like pursuing. Next up, Kylo Ren, 7 deploy. Holy crap, 5/5 Sentinel. When deployed, play any number of upgrades from your discard pile on this unit, one at a time, paying their cost. Leader side. Action, discard a card from your hand. If you discarded an upgrade this way, draw a card. It's a good way to cycle through your deck. People are going to know what upgrade you're throwing out. 7 deploy is god awful. The only thing I would say with the 7 deploy is you would want to make sure that your opponent has no other actions. And either you have thrown away something that can give him Saboteur just in case there's a Sentinel in the way, or you can combine him with something, like just something else, like Barrage or something at the same time, because he's super weak for 7 deploy. I think he would be dealt with very, very quickly. You're going to get like 1 hit, maybe 2. Interesting though. Like it is interesting. Like it's this sort of leader that I find to be interesting. Where do we put him on the list though? I think he's... This might be a bit controversial, but I'm going to put him up in the S. I actually want to try him out. I want to put some actual time into him and see what's possible. Remember, these are not meta predictions. These are just like how much I want to play them and the fun factor. If we come and revisit this in the future, and for some reason the Grand Inquisitor was absolutely incredible, a ton of fun, worked super well, then him on the D tier is the wrong spot for him. But as it stands, this is the fun factor. I think these are the funnest leaders at the top, the least fun at the bottom. So yeah, is there any part of him that needs the Force? No. So I think there's something there. Next up, Morgan Elsbeth, 5 deploy, 3/6. On attack, the next unit you play this phase costs 1 less if it shares a keyword with a friendly unit. Oh god. Hoops, I hate hoops. Don't make me jump through hoops, please. Leader side action, choose a friendly unit that attacked this phase. Play a unit from your hand that shares a keyword with the chosen unit. It costs 1 less. So clearly you got to play a theme deck for this. 5 deploy, I always like to pay attention to the 5 deploys. I don't find her all that exciting. Where does she fit into the funometer here? That is the question. I think I'm going to put her... She's going to be B tier. I'm going to put her at the bottom of the B tier. I think that's where she belongs. Definitely would try her. There's the possibility that she could be super fun. Testing needed. Next up is going to be Mother Talzin. 5 deploy, 3/7. On attack, you may give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. Super powerful. Vigilance. Villainy. Great stats. Great on attack. Leader side, action, use the Force. Give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. Still good. Like, not incredible, but good. Blue Villainy. Is she a control deck? Or would she be more of like a mid-range? I know I've heard the whispers. People think that she is in the top as far as the top side of the meta, maybe. I don't know. I'm just not sure. I'm excited to play this leader. Remember, this is excitement, so how excited are we to play this leader? I'd probably say more than Maul. Probably more than Cal Kesta. Is it Kesta? Kestis? Kesti? Whatever. No one cares. But I don't know if I'd... Yeah, I'm gonna put her just in front of Cal. I think that's... I've always found the meta decks to be boring. You just see them so much everywhere, and I consume a lot of content, so I could see her kind of being more on the meta side of things, but not the exciting side of things. All right, let's have a look at the next leader. Obi-Wan Kenobi, 5 deploy, 3/6. Command heroism. On attack, you may give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. Man, I love 5 deploys. Action, use the Force. Give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. Again, you gotta have the Force. Gotta make that Force. I would put this as probably a more exciting unit or leader to play. 5 deploy, love command. Where does he fall on the list, though? Where does he fall on this list? I think I like Obi-Wan. I've also heard the whispers that he is more on the meta side of things, probably one of the strongest leaders. I probably put him in the A tier. Just where on the A tier. I just like 5 deploy so much. I think I put him in front of Ava, Chris. I think this is where I put him. Yeah. Yep, that's definitely where he goes. Okay. Next leader, Qui-Gon Jinn, 6 deploy, Force 7, cunning heroism. When this unit completes an attack and survives, you may return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the returned unit from your hand for free. I have no idea. 4/7 stats for 6. That's right where it's supposed to be. Use the Force. Return a friendly, non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the returned unit from your hand for free. So I assume you can return your opponent's friendly unit to their hand, and then they have to play something. I mean, there's the potential that this is fun. It's cunning, though. I don't like cunning. Where do we put it, though? Let's have a look here. Yeah, I'm putting him in the B tier, I think. Yeah, we're going to put him at the end of the B tier. I'm not overly excited about him. I think he's all right. What do you say? It's probably where he belongs. It's probably where he belongs. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next leader, it's Rey. Oh no, 7 deploy, 6/8. Love the 6/8 stats. When deployed, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. Horrible, 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 horrible. So bad, horrible. So bad. Unless you have no cards, then fantastic. But who has no cards in their hands at 7 resources? Not this guy. I always have something. Action. If you played a non-unit force card this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. Blah. That's just awful. Rey is the new Jinn. I don't even think I have to think about this for very long. I think this is a D tier for fun factor. And I'm going to put her just in front of the Grand Inquisitor because I don't like him. Yep, that's where he belongs, or she belongs, sorry. All right, next leader. That was pretty easy. 6 deploy, 4/7 command villainy. On attack, give an experience token to the unit with the most power among friendly villainy units. That sounds fun. Like, I think that's fun. I think there's possibly something here. 4/7 for 6. That is legit. I'm okay with that. Action, pay 1, give an experience token to the unit with the most power among friendly units. I like it. I like this leader, Supreme Leader Snoke. I wonder what his showcase is going to look like. I hope it is epic. Where does he belong on the Funometer here? Where does he belong on the Funometer? Part of me wants to put him in the S tier, which then says that he for sure should go in the A tier. But like Mother Talzin and Calcestis, I possibly want to try them out. The same amount. Ah, man. All right, I'm going to put him in the B tier. And it's with a... I'm putting him at the top of the B tier. And that is going to be possibly a leader I want to play. So, Supreme Leader Snoke. Yep, I think that's pretty good. All right, there he is. This is the last one. This is our last leader. Third Sister, 5 deploy, 5/4. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It's IG-88. Aggression, villainy. Hidden. On attack, the next unit you play this phase gains hidden. Okay, so my thoughts on this are hidden is possibly really good. So play a unit from your hand. It gains hidden for this phase. It can't be attacked for this phase unless it has Sentinel. So I don't know. She's better than the Grand Inquisitor. Where does she belong, though, is really the question on this tier list. I am not super excited for her, but I want to try out Hidden, and she's the only leader that is going to allow that. And I do have an IG-88 showcase, and I do play him from time to time. All right, we need one controversial pick, I think. I am putting her A tier at the very end of it, and Supreme Leader Snoke is probably in front of her, but I do find Hidden to be interesting. So I know, I'm sure when you look at other people's tier lists, they're going to have it weighted way down to the bottom. There's probably no S tier leaders in this set. When we're talking meta, I would say that the Force is going to hold back the leaders that play the Force. And the ones that don't need the Force are just not strong enough to take over the meta. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So that's why we're doing the fun to play tier list. And I think this probably is where it needs to be. All right, so this is my fun to play tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and it's a little bit different. We're gonna go back and revisit this before the next set comes out. I'm actually between Kylo Ren and Kanan Jarrus. I think those are probably the two funnest looking leaders in this set. And then Darth Raven and Anakin, there's the possibility that there could be some cool decks built with just their single aspects. So yeah, I kind of feel like Obi-Wan is in the wrong spot. Am I allowed to change this? No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. That was a moment of silence for this is possibly a mistake, but it's not. It's good. This is good. I think there's a lot of fun leaders in this set. I think S, A, and B are all ones that I would be super excited to get as showcases. C and D, less excited. And that's interesting because I'm usually just pumped no matter what showcase I get. Just getting a showcase is like so much fun opening a pack with a showcase in it. So I'd probably still be pumped if I got a C or D tier leader here. But yeah, S, A, and B, those would be my ideal ones, and I could dive into trying to figure out what the best deck is to play with those. Anyway, that's my tier list. It's all about fun and enjoying the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel to 500 subs as quick as possible. We're at just over 300, so we've been growing at a steady rate lately as we've put out more content. Hopefully our area gets another PQ for this set, and we will be live streaming that as well, as we have the Showcase Showdown coming to our channel after the set release. So make sure you're subbed and in the Discord so that you guys can enjoy that and be involved, because there's going to be stuff to win. All right, thanks again, and we will catch you guys on the next one.